sporting stories.
Yeah, never mind darts. Oh, look out.
Yeah. And this or any other era. And Luke Littler, just because he can, smashes in a 180 with his first visit.
There's a little bit of Bristow about him. There's a tiny little bit of Taylor about him. There's a bit of it. If you take all the best elements of all the great players, you'll find a little bit of all of them in Luke Littler in some capacity. It's just one of the most exciting things to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, that just sort of sums it up in darting history. Darts on the
58.
front pages, the back pages, national news. Leading the headlines.
Hobnobbing with Premier League footballers.
Yeah. I mean,
59.
Sir Alex. Seen that picture? That was wonderful.
But Dirk will go about it in his own merry way.
Well, we can't ignore the early stages of his World Championship
45.
match against Boris Krčmar, where he was absolutely outstanding, wasn't he? Couldn't see the whole match out anywhere near that level, but there was early indications that things were improving.
54.
And this is only a short race.
160.
They started with a 180. Just flicking off the
100.
barrel. Leaves 60.
Dirk
But
van
I mean,
170.
genuinely, it is one of the great stories. He seems to have his feet
93.
firmly on the ground as well.
And
just taking it all in, enjoying it, having fun. Oops, that'll do for one. That'll do for two. 1-0 it is to Littler.
Yeah, he seems to take everything in his stride. His feet are firmly on the ground. He's level-headed. He's fairly blasé about it all, which is probably the best way to be. He's not getting carried away.
91.
You know, when he was asked the question by Dan about, you know, do you hit 9 darters, like, it'd be quite easy to go, no, yeah, I hit him all the time. Well, I would have said.
45.
I think she'd have been telling fibs, though.
Yeah, there would have been an element of Porky's in there. But we can compare. We have someone to compare him to. Well, a couple of people really.
44.
Bristow at 17-18 was remarkable. Fans everywhere. But MVG similar, wasn't it? Very similar age. At 17 was doing remarkable things, hitting 9 darters and winning big titles.
Well, let me ask you straight. I mean, I know everyone's getting carried away to a certain extent, and rightly so, with what they're seeing about Luke Littler, but you've seen them all, from the old generation and growing up to a new generation of darting superstars. Where does Littler rate, in your view,
97.
at this age?
Yeah, well, you've got to remember how tough it is. What's MVG played? 18 World Championships, a return of 3. That's not a critique, that's an example of how tough this sport is. There's no guarantee in this game, not anymore. The days of Bristow's domination in 84, 85 and 86, Taylor's
27.
double-decade domination. MVG had that dominant 4-year period, but
130.
listen, let's just win one first, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, I've said all along the kid can play. And boy, can he ever.
9. Luke, you've acquired 40.
Tops to double his lead.
Game shot
There
in
it
the
is,
second
followed
leg.
it beautifully.
Luke Littler.
Let's talk a little bit about
first.
Dirk, I guess. It's been a tough old time for him with the shoulder injury. I mean, still in the top 16, isn't he?
139.
13 in the world, but it's a big year for him, because if he doesn't start producing some consistency,
140.
Well, he's got quite a bit to defend, hasn't he?
We know how easy it is for players to tumble down those rankings.
100.
And we may yet get a repeat of the World Final. The winner to play Luke Humphries or Jimmy Watamina.
123.
They're coming up next.
Now, I listened to Gerwyn Price's post-match press conference, and he actually said something that sort of rings true, really. He said he felt a bit sorry for Luke Humphries because the limelight has been stolen, and what has been an incredible 3-4 months for Luke Humphries, being crowned the world champion, and the world #1 has almost sort of been, well, it's almost gone under the radar.
91. Dirk, you acquire.
However,
100.
it won't feel like that tonight when he gets introduced.
No, absolutely. This is better from Dirk. Double 10 to hit back. This will be a break back.
Interestingly, Stu,
I think there was a shout out there as well. He looked round.
He had a look to see what Littler's on. He shouldn't be concerned about what he's doing.
Bull.
63.
We kind of both expected it, didn't we?
Dirk, you acquired 20.
That'll make you feel a lot better.
Dirk van
Good leg.
Duijvenbode.
Best leg of the match. 13 dart break of throw. Gets us back on throw. And at the moment,
Flag, Dirk to throw first.
this is in and around where Luke's B game is. Around about 90. I've seen a lot of him, especially in 2023. I've seen him average 117, and I've seen him plod along around the 90s. So this really is the moment
99.
where he's got to start answering a couple of questions in this match. We've seen him answer every question in the Worlds, except one.
Well, let's see if he's
58.
pushed. Let's see if Van Duijvenbode can really push him. Now, just when you thought it was safe, a third 180 and 4 legs for Luke Littler. And do you know what? A lot was made, of course,
95.
during that sensational World Championship of where it all started for him at the St Helens Darts Academy, as he looks to head another
140.
one on Monday night. After getting back from Bahrain, he went and surprised all the kids. There was nearly 100 kids at the academy, and he walked through the door just to help them and get a little bit back. I thought that was lovely.
53.
Absolute class.
Luke,
and he's a big rugby fan as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
66. Dirk, you acquire 170.
Well, this will be some shot from Dirk. But you break through with a really good leg of darts, and then
Luke, you acquire 16.
is there going to be another chance for Van Duijvenbode? Of course, there isn't. 3-1 it is.
Luke Littler.
And you talk about, even when he's not at his best.
Game on.
A 92 average isn't at his best. His opponent isn't either, but there's an element, as you well know, that sometimes you just do enough. Do enough to win. If your opponent's not playing well, you just do enough to win.
Yeah, and again, this is a much more mature element of his game that you wouldn't expect to be there. But he's aware of where his opponent is, and he just has this
99.
natural ability where we just seen in the previous leg of just going through the gears when he needs to. He's probably thinking to himself, well, I don't really need to be at my best. But this is a player that's been playing at senior level since sort of 12 years of age, and winning senior titles as a young teenager.
40.
Yeah, not good enough from Dirk.
Yeah, Luke's sort of saying, well, what are you looking at me for? I'm not throwing them, pal. Don't try and use me as a scapegoat.
Did the right thing, yeah. A puzzled look on the face of Luke Littler. I think Dirk's had
Love this.
Had some heckling a little bit as well, hasn't he, from the crowd. Play the game, Dirk.
Well, there can't be anything because Hugh Ware would react instantly, and he has not moved a muscle.
128.
Makes it look easy, doesn't he, when it just does. Of course, Luke
So annoying.
Littler, chosen at 16, making his Premier League debut in Cardiff against Luke Humphreys.
Next Thursday.
135.
17 years of age in the Premier League. One dart.
Well, how much of it can he see?
40.
So a chance here.
Dirk, you require 87.
Unexpected as it may be for Dirk van Duijvenbode. Maybe a shot at the ball. Oh, it's not even that. Well,
23.
That's really poor. Then he's threw the last one away. What on earth is he doing?
Well,
Luke, you require
first
40.
and foremost, I think he's lacking confidence and belief in his own game.
From the fifth leg. Luke Littler. Sixth leg, Dirk to throw first.
And I think the fact that he's, you know, spending a fair bit of time almost gesturing
140.
in some way, it's Luke that's implying some kind of gamesmanship.
96.
As you say, I mean, first and foremost for Van Duijvenbode, concentrate on your own game, old boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
60. $125.
So far, it's the Netherlands 4, the rest of the world 0 in games between the Dutchies tonight.
59.
Littler looking for the first win. #1 seed, winner in Bahrain. Looks like he's having a leg off.
78.
Can afford to. In fairness, it's been a much better leg from Dirk. 62 after 12.
58. Dirk, you require 62. Game from the sixth leg. Dirk van Duijvenbode, seventh leg, Luke to throw.
Convincing hold of throw.
Well, his two winning legs have been 13 and 15.
109.
I told you he was having a leg off.
He wants to be a leg away.
$44. $59.
One young man responsible for taking the sport of darts to a whole new level.
Yeah, a completely different demographic.
60.
I've never had so many questions, like, you know, just wandering around the supermarket. The amount of times I've been stopped and asked about
98.
Luke Littler, it's just been incredible.
Yeah, and on top of that, we talk about demographics and everything. On top of that, so many people in touch saying, well, you know, I never really was a big watcher of the darts. But I couldn't take my eyes off it.
164.
Like, several of my friends, you know, my wife never really has much interest in the darts, but
64.
she had it on before I did. You know, what it's just the interest across all age groups, and you know, they say that it has no barriers, and
it took us back to when we only had 4 channels.
Yeah.
44.
I mean, far from his best here. 89, shabby from Littler, but great, a lot
99.
coming back.
Yeah,
isn't
when your opponent's averaging 83,
56.
89's more than enough. And the finishing is at 40% and some.
Luke Littler. A flag
So
turns to
what a way.
Throfers.
He's done this in a canter, hasn't he?
I mean, and it's very much his C game.
11.
I mean, Dirk has got some serious sorting out.
100.
I mean, I dare to say it, not just for this year, but for his career. And I'm not laying it on thick in any way, shape or form, Chris, but sadly, I think that's the truth.
Yeah, well, he went from a player that
60.
we were picking to be the next first major winner. He made the final of that World Series finals in Amsterdam, and he did fluff his lines really, but credit to Pricey. I mean, he was the most prolific of all players in terms of 180s, and you know, he was on everybody's shortlist. And it's just all gone a little bit Pete Tong for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's
96.
when you've reached major finals as well. I mean,
60.
and it's not good to see. But I mean, apart from his shoulder problem, I think he's also got to sort it out in his head, in his focus.
Another one of those. Double 18.
Game shot.
Well, there you go. What a way to win the game. He